Welcome to Wisdom Matrix 1111. Today, I'm delighted to share with you some of Joseph Murphy's wisdom, the healing connection. This is one of Joseph Murphy's powerful lectures, in which he speaks about the relationship between the subconscious mind and physical healing, and how emotional states, whether negative or positive, can influence the healing process. In this lecture, he explores healing as a connection between the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and what he often called the infinite intelligence. He also shares healing affirmations for the body, mind, and soul. The wisdom shared in this lecture is truly worth listening to for anyone seeking strength, peace, and healing in all aspects of life. So let's dive in. The Healing Connection by Joseph Murphy, presented by Wisdom Matrix 1111. Some months ago, I had a letter from a man who stated that he couldn't understand why everybody around him annoyed him. I asked him to come and see me, and talking with him, I discovered that he was constantly rubbing others the wrong way. He did not like himself and was full of self-condemnation. He spoke in a very tense, irritable tone and grated on people's nerves. He thought meanly of himself and was highly critical of others. I explained to him that while his unhappy experiences seemed to be with other people, his relationship with them was determined by his thoughts and feelings about himself and them. I elaborated on the fact that if he despises himself, he cannot have goodwill and respect for others. It's impossible. It is a law of mind that we are always projecting our thoughts and feelings onto our associates and everyone around us. That's called projection. He began to realize that as long as he projected feelings of prejudice, ill will, and contempt for others, that is exactly what he would get back, because his world is but an echo of his moods and attitudes. I gave him a mental and spiritual formula which enabled him to overcome his irritation and arrogance. He decided to write consciously the following thoughts in his subconscious mind. Remember, your conscious mind is the pen, and you can write anything you want in your subconscious mind. This is what he wrote. I practice the golden rule from now on. I mean it. This means I think, speak, and act towards others as I wish others to think, speak, and act towards me. I walk serenely on my way, and I am free, for I give freedom to all. I sincerely wish peace, prosperity, and success to all. I am always poised, serene, and calm. The peace of the infinite floods my mind and my whole being. Others appreciate and respect me as I appreciate myself. Life is honoring me greatly, for it is providing for me abundantly. The petty things in life no longer irritate or annoy me. When fear, worry, doubt, or criticism from others comes and knocks at my door, faith in goodness, truth, and beauty opens the door in my mind. Their suggestions and statements have no power over me. I know now how to cure hurt feelings. The only power is in my own thought. When I think God's thoughts, God's power is with my thoughts of good. I know the thoughts of others have no power except the power that I give them. They have to become my thoughts. Then it becomes a movement of my own thought. He affirmed these truths morning, noon, and night, and he committed the whole prayer to memory. He poured into these words life, love, and meaning, and by osmosis, these ideas penetrated the layers of his subconscious mind. He became a changed man. He said to me, I'm learning how to specialize myself out of the law of averages. I'm getting along fine. I've received 2 promotions in the past 2 months. I now know the truth of the passage. If I be lifted up, I will draw all manifestation unto me. He learned the trouble was within himself, and he decided to change his thoughts, feelings, and reactions. Any person can do the same. It takes decisions, stick-to-itiveness, and a keen desire to transform oneself. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "There is one mind common to all individual men. Every man is an inlet of the same and to all of the same. He also said, he who is admitted to the right of reason is made a free man of the whole estate. Begin to realize that infinite intelligence, the guiding principle of the universe, is within you, and the infinite healing presence controls all your vital organs and all the processes and functions of your body. You have the capacity to make choices, to use your imagination and all the other powers of God within you. Your mind is actually God's mind, and when you consciously, decisively, and constructively use the infinite power within, you become a free man of the whole estate. Emerson inspires you to enlarge the concept of yourself when he announced this profound truth. What Plato thought, you may think. What a saint has felt, you may feel. What at any time has befallen any man, you can understand. He who has access to the universal mind is a party of all that is or can be done, for this is the only and sovereign agent. Emerson was America's greatest philosopher and one of the greatest thinkers of all time. He was constantly in tune with the infinite. He urged all men to release the infinite possibilities within them. Emerson taught the dignity and grandeur of man and pointed out to his listeners that great people appear great to us because we are on our knees. He taught that we attribute greatness to Plato and others because they acted upon what they themselves thought and not upon what other people believed or what others thought they should think. Begin to have a lofty, noble, and dignified concept of yourself, and the petty things of life will no longer irritate you. If they do, you are emotionally immature. You are suffering from infantilism. That's why people say, why don't you act your age? Why don't you grow up? Are your feathers easily ruffled when someone says you're behind the 8 ball? Or do you take it in your stride and say, well, they are right. I'm going to do better next time. Remember what the psalmist said to all men, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. You are. Everyone is a child of the Most High. The infinite is within you. There is a right way to talk, to walk, to drive a car, and to make a cake. There's a right and wrong way to do everything. To live a full and happy life, you must live according to principles. You would not think of building a wheel off-center or violating the principle of electricity or chemistry. Likewise, when you think, speak, act, and react from the standpoint of the infinite intelligence within you, you will find that your whole life will be one of joy, happiness, success, and peace of mind. Mrs. Wrongway was jealous and hateful towards the supervisor in her office. Yes, she was suffering from hurt feelings and had developed ulcers and high blood pressure. However, she became interested in the spiritual principle of forgiveness and goodwill. She realized that she had accumulated many resentful and begrudging attitudes, and that these negative and obnoxious thoughts were festering in her subconscious mind. She tried to talk to her supervisor in an effort to straighten matters out, but the woman brushed her off. In a continuing effort to correct the situation, Mrs. Wrongway applied the principles of harmony and goodwill for 10 minutes every morning prior to going to work. She affirmed as follows, I surround Mrs. X with harmony, love, peace, joy, and goodwill. There is harmony, peace, and understanding between us. Whenever I think of Mrs. X, I will say, God's love saturates your mind. This isn't mumbo-jumbo. Mrs. Wrongway knew what she was doing and why she was doing it. These thoughts or ideas sink into the subconscious. There is only one subconscious mind, and the other person picks it up. A few weeks passed, and Mrs. Wrongway went to San Francisco for a weekend. On boarding the plane, she discovered that the only vacant seat was the one next to her supervisor. She greeted her cordially and received a cordial and loving response. They had a harmonious and joyous time together en route to San Francisco. Mrs. Wrongway and Mrs. X now attend my lectures on Sunday morning at the Wilshire Ebel Theatre. Infinite intelligence set the stage for the solution of this difficulty in ways that Mrs. Wrongway didn't know, for the ways of your subconscious are past finding out. As the heavens are above the earth, so are its ways above your ways. Mrs. Wrongway's changed thinking, changed everything, including a perfect healing of her ulcers and high blood pressure. She was hurting herself. The other person is not responsible for the way you think or feel. You are, because you are the only thinker in your universe, and you are responsible for the way you think. You are responsible for the way you think about your congressman, your senator, or anybody else. The other person is not responsible for the way you think. I recall a young woman saying to me once, "Everybody in my office dislikes me, and there are several people who want me fired." I said to her, "Why don't you resign and find another position?" She said, "What's the use? I've had 6 jobs this year so far." This young lady had a brilliant mind, was well educated, and was an outstanding legal secretary. 90% of her problem was in her personality and her tendency to blame others. Did you know that over 90% of all the problems in factories, schools, businesses, governments, and in the home are not technical? They are people's inability to get along with others. They are rubbing others the wrong way. I gave her a spiritual prescription and suggested that she take it regularly, morning and night, for several months. I told her to pray the following prayer for every man and woman in her office every day before she went to work. This is what she said: "I send out loving thoughts and feelings of goodwill, happiness and joy to all those in my office. I affirm, claim and believe that my relationship with each one of my co-workers will be harmonious, pleasant and satisfactory. Divine love, harmony, peace and beauty flow through my thoughts, words and deeds, and I am constantly releasing the imprisoned splendor within me. I am happy, joyous and free, bubbling over with enthusiasm, and I rejoice in the goodness of God and the inner goodness of all people." She reiterated and remained faithful to this prayer. When thoughts of anger, criticism, or feeling hurt came to her, she would pour forth goodwill upon others. At the end of 2 months, she received a wonderful promotion and was put in complete charge of the entire legal office. If a thought comes to you that you'd like to wring somebody's neck, there is nothing in the world to prevent you from saying, "God's peace fills your soul." The law of substitution takes a little practice. Anyone can do it who wants to do it. How much do you want what you want? Do you want to give up your grudges, your hurt feelings, your resentment and antagonism, and feel good mentally, physically, and emotionally? Well, you have to give up something, you know. A man whom I was interviewing recently said to me, "I'm all mixed up and tied up. I can't get along with others, and I'm constantly rubbing them the wrong way." This young man was hypersensitive, jittery, self-centered and crotchety. In spite of all this, he wanted to have good relations with his co-workers, to get along with them in every respect. I explained to him that his present personality represented the sum total of his habitual thinking, training, indoctrination, emotional atmosphere and beliefs inculcated upon his mind, and he could transform himself. I explained to him that the infinite indwells him, and that all the attributes, potencies, qualities and aspects of the infinite were lodged in his deeper mind and could be resurrected and expressed in his personal life. I gave him the following prayer for the purpose of transforming his entire personality. You're transformed by the renewal of your mind, you know. He affirmed healingly and lovingly several times a day, "God is a great personality, the one life expressed through me. God is the infinite life principle within me, and this presence flows through me now as harmony, joy, peace, love, beauty, and power." I'm a channel for the divine in the same way that a bulb is a channel for electricity. The wholeness, beauty, and perfection of the universe are constantly being expressed through me. Today, I am reborn spiritually. I completely detach myself from my old way of thinking. I bring divine life, love, truth, and beauty into my experience. I constantly feel love for everyone. I radiate it. I exude it. Mentally, I say to everyone that I contact, I see the divine presence in you. And I know you see the divine presence in me. I recognize the qualities of the infinite in everyone. I practice this morning, noon, and night. It is a living part of me. I am reborn spiritually now, because all day long I practice the presence of the infinite. No matter what I am doing, whether I'm walking along the street, shopping, or going about my daily business, whenever my thought wanders away from the infinite, I bring it to the contemplation of the divine, holy presence. I feel noble, dignified, and godlike. I walk in a high mood, sensing my oneness with the infinite. His peace fills my soul. As this man made a habit of allowing attributes and qualities of the infinite good to flow through his mind, his whole personality underwent a marvelous change, because a personality is the sum total of your thinking, your feeling, your beliefs, and your conditioning. He became affable and amiable and increased his understanding. He now communicates vibrancy and goodwill wherever he goes. In addition, he's moved up several rungs on the ladder of success in his field of work. The law is, I am that which I contemplate. I am that which I feel myself to be. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee because he trusts in thee. With your eyes stayed on God, there is no evil on your pathway. Divine love goes before you today and every day, making straight, joyous, and glorious your way. A husband and wife were quarreling recently. Both were suffering from hurt pride. Their egos were deflated. The wife was weeping and having temper tantrums, and both of them were very angry, glowering at each other and accusing and blaming one another. They had a 6-year-old daughter, and she looked at them and said, "Both of you deserve a good spanking." Both parents laughed, and the tension was broken. They had to laugh at themselves because they knew they were being silly, and that the whole episode was ludicrous and irrational. They were enjoying hurt feelings. This psychic trauma robs you of vitality, wholeness, beauty, and energy. Hurt feelings are very expensive because they rob you of everything worthwhile. It's the quickest way in the world to grow old, wrinkled, and sick. There are some people who get a morbid pseudo-satisfaction out of playing the martyr role. They say, "If you love me, you will do such and such." Some say, "I will be dead and gone, and you will be sorry for the way you treated me." This is emotional blackmail. They're trying to get you to do what they want you to do. They are certainly not interested in your welfare. They're selfish and possessive. Do you want all your relatives and associates to think and believe the way you do? Do you want them to act the way you wish them to act, to vote the way you do, and to go to the same church? Well, if you do, you are emotionally immature. It's called infantilism. You haven't grown up. Give your relatives, your grandfather, your grandmother, everybody. Give them their freedom. Permit them to believe what they want to believe. If they want to believe in a devil, permit them to believe in it. Let them have their peculiarities, abnormalities, eccentricities, and unconventional ways. There is a wonderful saying that consists of 4 letters, MYOB. That means mind your own business. They have the right to do what they think is right, and you have the right to do what you think is right. You're here to do right, think right, act right, and be right. You're here to be a producer. You're here to contribute to the world. What can you produce? Harmony, health, peace, joy, abundance, and security. You have no time for criticism, condemnation or self-pity because you're too busy about your own work. You're bringing forth great things. Your success, prosperity, peace, and happiness are not dependent upon what others think, what others do or don't do, what they say or don't say, or what they believe or don't believe. The only thing that matters is what you think in your heart. Your heart is your subconscious. As you think and feel, so are you. You're responsible for the way you think. Your relatives aren't. You're responsible for your reactions, your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. You are the master. The suggestions, actions, and statements of others have no power to disturb you. You disturb yourself by the movement of your own thought. Therefore, you have the opportunity to curse or bless. If someone calls you a skunk, you say, "Well now, wait a minute, am I a skunk? Do I smell like one?" Or you can say, "You can't disturb me today." God fills your soul, then you go on about your business. You refuse to give that person the power to give you a headache, disturb you emotionally, or cause you to be irritational and make a fool out of yourself, which is maybe what the other person wants. But you are too smart for that. Jealousy is cruel as the grave, the Song of Solomon says. Its flashes are flashes of fire amidst vehement flame. Jealous competition plays havoc with people. A jealous person is childish, and he looks that way. Did you ever look at a jealous person in business or in the home life? A jealous person in business is interfering with the other person's business. Their thought is on the other person's business, and they have no time for their own business. They are not attending to their own business. They are working for the other person all day long. They get no pay for it. Isn't that a waste of energy, vitality, and enthusiasm? It certainly is. You please others best when you give the best that you have. Do you think you're blocked by the person you're jealous of? No. Your thought governs you. Your belief governs you. If you are jealous, you are a slave to the other person. If someone is jealous of another, they feel inferior. They are full of fear, and they have a rejection complex. They are placing the other person on a pedestal saying, "You're way up there and I'm down here." They are demoting themselves and attracting lack and limitation and impoverishing themselves along all lines. It is disastrous. Some time ago, I received a letter from a woman in Arizona in which she said that her sister-in-law and mother-in-law disapproved of her and told her bluntly that they preferred her husband's former wife. They never invited her to their homes, but always invited her husband to visit them alone. Furthermore, although she tried her utmost to be nice to them, they criticized her meals, her home, her clothing, and her speech. This woman said that she felt inferior and rejected and asked me, "Why do they do this? What's wrong with me?" In reply, I pointed out that she'd been suffering unnecessarily and without real warrant, and that she had the power to refuse and reject the poisonous statements of her in-laws, their rudeness and their incivility. I explained further that she did not create her mother-in-law or sister-in-law, and that she was not responsible for their jealous, envious attitudes and complexes. I told her to stop placing them on a pedestal and to stop being a doormat for them. A doormat is something one walks on and wipes their feet on. I added that it was quite possible that her charm, graciousness, kindness, and wonderful character annoyed them, and that they probably got a sadistic satisfaction in disturbing her. I suggested that she break off all relations with them and cease abasing herself by groveling to them. I told her that she needed an attitude of self-respect and self-esteem. I gave her the following prayer to be used 3 times a day, which would sink, of course, into her subconscious mind. I completely surrender my in-laws to God. God made them and sustains them. I radiate love, peace, and goodwill to them and wish for them all the blessings of life. I'm a child of the Infinite. The Infinite loves me and cares for me. It created me and sustains me. When a negative thought of anger, fear, self-criticism, self-condemnation, or resentment enters into my mind, I immediately supplant it with the thought of the infinite in the midst of me. I know I have complete dominion over my thoughts and emotions. I'm the boss in my realm. I'm a channel of the divine. I now redirect all my feelings and emotions along harmonious, constructive lines. I refuse to give power to my in-laws or any man, woman, or child to disturb me. Only God's ideas enter my mind, bringing me harmony, health, and peace. Whenever I'm prone to demean or demote myself, I will boldly affirm, I exalt God in the midst of me. I am one with the infinite, and one with the infinite is a majority. If God be for me, who can be against me? She followed the above prayer and carried out my other instructions. You can do the same thing as this woman. She wrote to me and said, "Thank you for the enclosed prayer. I phoned my in-laws and told them not to visit us at any time, except when my husband issued a special invitation. I also told them that I sincerely wished them well, and I meant it. I see now where I made my mistake and how I was actually handicapping myself by thinking I was inferior to them. The prayer has worked wonders for me, and my husband said to me the other day, 'Honey, you're beaming. What happened to you?' I told him, and both of us are grateful to you. That's the way to cure hurt feelings, because you hurt yourself. Nobody has the power to hurt you. Does your belief about yourself govern you, or does the other person's belief govern you? Are you going to be hypnotized, mesmerized, brainwashed, and manipulated by your mother-in-law, or do you have a mind of your own? There is an infinite intelligence within you, a guide and a counselor. This power within you sustains and strengthens you. Surely you don't take your instructions from your in-laws. Some time ago, I had a consultation with a salesman. He said he was timid, shy, and resentful, and looked upon the world as harsh and cruel. Actually, he was trying to escape from taking his rightful dominion over life. He said his wife, his children, his boss, and his associates didn't appreciate him and criticized him. He was full of hurt feelings. The cause of all this was this young man had an inner sense of insecurity and inadequacy. He was down on himself. He said, "How can I gain the appreciation of others?" I gave him the biblical quotation, "Love your neighbor as thyself." The real meaning of this text is that your neighbor is yourself. The real self of you is the infinite intelligence within you. Speak thou to him, for he hears, and spirit is closer than breathing and nearer than hands and feet. I explained to this young man the truth about himself and how to love and appreciate himself more. This was my explanation. If a man demotes, despises, and deprecates himself, he can't live up to or give esteem, goodwill, or respect to others. It is a cosmic law of mind that man is constantly projecting his thoughts, feelings, and beliefs onto others, and what he sends out comes back to him. If you're mean and cruel to yourself, others are going to be mean and cruel to you. The self of you is God. It's your higher self. It is a supreme intelligence. Surely you should exalt, love, and honor yourself. That is love, and love means to be loyal and faithful. Give your recognition and veneration to the supreme intelligence within you, not to any created thing. Then you are loving God, which is your neighbor, the closest thing. How could you love the person next door except you first loved yourself? Man is the son of the infinite, and all the qualities and powers of the infinite are within him. People must love and honor the indwelling presence. So, love of self is to honor, recognize, exalt, respect, and give your allegiance to the living spirit within you, supreme and omnipotent. The supreme intelligence made you, created you, animates and sustains you. It is the life principle within you. This has nothing to do with egoism or self-aggrandizement. On the contrary, it is a wholesome veneration for the divinity which shapes your ends. The Bible says that your body is a temple of the infinite, and that you glorify the infinite when you honor, respect, and love the self of you. In doing this, you will automatically love, esteem, and honor others. The salesman listened, and he said, "I've never heard it explained that way before. I can see clearly what I've been doing. I've been down on myself, and I've been full of prejudices, ill will, and bitterness. What I've been sending out has reverberated back to me. I have gained a true insight into myself." This salesman practiced affirming the following truths with deep sincerity several times daily. He knew that these truths would sink down from his conscious to his subconscious mind and grow forth like seeds after their kind. "I know that I can give only what I have. From this moment, I am going to have a wholesome, reverent, deep respect for myself, which is the infinite. I am an expression of the infinite. The infinite has need of me where I am, otherwise I would not be here. From this moment forward, I honor and salute the divinity in all my associates and all people everywhere. I hold the self of every person in high regard and esteem. I am one with the infinite. I am a tremendous success, and I wish for all men what I wish for myself, and I am at peace." This prayer has transformed his life. He's no longer a timid, shy, resentful man. He has moved forward by leaps and bounds, and so can you. Learn to love your true self, and then you will learn to love and respect others. Love the self of you, which is the I am within you. You're saying, "I am morning, noon, and night." When you say "I am," you're announcing the presence of the living God within you. It means being, life awareness, and unconditioned consciousness. It's the self-originating spirit within you that created you. It is all eyes. It knows all and sees all. Surely you should honor that. That is loving your neighbor as yourself. Affirmation 1. I am whole. I am perfect. I am strong. I am powerful. I am loving. I am harmonious. I am happy. I am healthy. Affirmation 2. I am prosperous. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am happy. I feel wonderful. Something wonderful is happening today. I feel happy. I feel healthy. I feel heavenly. God's river of peace saturates my mind and heart. I rest in the everlasting arms of wisdom, truth, and beauty. God's will for me is to express love, beauty, joy, harmony, health, and the life more abundant. God's will for me is something wonderful, marvelous, and beautiful, transcending my fondest dreams. Affirmation 3. God is absolute peace. God is boundless joy. God is boundless love. God is wholeness, beauty, and perfection. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I identify and acknowledge the infinite presence and power within me. I claim harmony, peace, beauty, love, joy, right action, and divine law and order. I am divinely guided. I am divinely whole. I am filled with divine beauty. I am filled with divine perfection. No stranger can move me. I overcome all vexations and difficulties. Success is mine. Harmony is mine. Abundance is mine. God pronounced everything good. Whatever I eat or drink is transmuted into beauty, order, symmetry, and proportion. I am harmonized and vitalized. In my body I see order, peace, wholeness, and beauty. It is wonderful. I am divinely guided and live in joyous expectancy of the best, and the best always comes to me. Affirmation 4. God's love fills my soul. I know that when love flows through my heart, all resentment is dissolved. I forgive myself for harboring any negative, destructive thoughts about another, and I resolve not to do this anymore. I tune in with the Infinite One within me, and I think, speak, act, and react from the standpoint of God and His law of love. I fully and freely forgive everyone. I radiate love, peace, goodwill, and all the blessings of life to everyone. They are free, and I am free. There is always a river of peace flowing through my heart. Affirmation 5. I am wise in the way of divine life. Infinite intelligence knows the answer, the way out, even before I ask. As I call on the supreme wisdom now, I know its nature is to respond to me. I will clearly recognize the lead or answer when it comes. I know it comes clearly into my conscious reasoning mind, and I recognize it instantly. The infinite intelligence within me knows all things. The right decision is revealed to me in divine order. I immediately recognize the answer when it comes. I turn to God's presence within me and commune with divine love and divine peace to restore my soul. Divine love saturates my whole being. Divine right action is mine. Divine harmony governs my life. Divine peace fills my soul. Divine beauty is mine. I am divinely guided in all ways. I am illumined from on high. I know and believe that God's will for me is a greater measure of life, love, truth, and beauty. I know that infinite intelligence loves me and cares for me. God's river of peace, love, and joy is now flowing through me, revitalizing, healing, and restoring my mind, body, and soul. So there you have it. The Healing Connection by Joseph Murphy. I hope the powerful wisdom shared in this lecture brings comfort and strength to your healing journey. Remember, maintaining a healthy connection between your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and the infinite intelligence is essential for healing on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for tuning in to Wisdom Matrix 1111. Please help support the channel by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. May divine love flow through your whole being, guiding you in all ways, as the power of your subconscious mind helps you heal, manifest abundance, love, joy, peace, and harmony in your life. Until next time, peace.